The prelude to a revolution. The Second Vatican Council, convened by Pope John XXIII, marks one of the most significant moments in modern church history. Held in 1962, the council was an embodiment of progress, ushering the Catholic Church from medieval traditions to contemporary relevance. Initially unexpected, this council was seen as both a necessity and an opportunity to rediscover spiritual vitality and engage with the rapidly changing world. The opening ceremony. As the grand procession of bishops entered St. Peter's Basilica, anticipation and hope filled the air. Dressed in resplendent ceremonial robes, the scene was a profound blend of tradition and potential transformation. The solemnity and grandeur set the tone for the council, reflecting an event that promised to bridge the past and the future. John XXIII's vision. Often referred to as Good Pope John XXIII's vision for the council was one of aggiornamento, or bringing the church up to date. He desired a renewal that fostered unity within the Catholic Church and openness to dialogue with the modern world, emphasizing that doctrinal purity was not to be compromised, but could coexist with a modern expression of faith. Clip 4. The role of the laity. In an unprecedented move, conclusions were drawn about the role of the laity. No longer were lay people to be mere spectators in their faith journey. Instead, they were recognized as active participants, essential to the Church's mission. Their engagement was promoted, encouraging a sense of community and active involvement in parish life. One of the most visible outcomes of the council was the reform of the liturgy. Latin, the traditional language of the Mass, gave way to vernacular languages, allowing congregations worldwide to understand and engage with the service more intimately. Changes were not merely linguistic, but extended to various aspects of ritual, making worship a more inclusive and spiritually enriching experience. Clip 6. Engaging with the modern world. Vatican II marked a definitive shift in how the Church engaged with modern society. Documents such as Gaudium et Spes articulated a renewed vision for the Church's role in the contemporary world, addressing issues of poverty, social justice, and human dignity. The Church was to be an advocate for humanity, offering guidance and moral clarity. For centuries, Catholic relations with other Christian denominations had been strained. Vatican II sought to change that, emphasizing ecumenical efforts and interfaith dialogue. The decree Unitatis Redintegratio set a new course, encouraging collaboration and mutual understanding among Christians, fostering unity in diversity. Clip 8. A universal call to holiness. Lumen Gentium, one of the Council's major documents, declared a universal call to holiness, encouraging every believer to strive for sanctity in their everyday lives. This was a revolutionary concept, democratizing the spiritual journey and emphasizing that holiness is accessible to all, not just the clergy. Clip 9. Media's role in transformation. The advent of television brought Vatican II into homes worldwide, ensuring that the unfolding changes were not just the concern of the religious elite, but of common believers globally. This transformation in communication allowed for a more profound connection among Catholics and a better understanding of the Church's new direction. Vatican II was not just an administrative reform, but a theological renaissance. It revisited and revitalized Catholic theology, addressing issues such as ecclesiology, the nature of revelation, and the Church's teaching authority. It opened the doors for diverse theological thoughts and academic inquiry. Clip 11. The end of anti-Semitism. One of the most groundbreaking outcomes was the Council's stand against anti-Semitism. The declaration, Nostra Aetate, proclaimed that Jews were not collectively responsible for Christ's crucifixion, fostering new relationships based on mutual respect and shared roots. Clip 12. Changes in religious life. The Council's influence extended to religious orders, encouraging renewal and adaptation within monastic and convent communities. Orders revisited their charisms and missions, aligning them with contemporary needs while preserving their foundational spiritual identity. Clip 13. A shift in papal authority. While the Pope's role remained central, Vatican II introduced a new balance of power within the Church, favoring a more synodal and collegial approach. This meant embracing wider consultation within the episcopate on decision-making processes. Clip 14. Social justice and peace. A pronounced emphasis on social justice and peace marked the Council's agenda. It asserted the Church's commitment to justice, advocating for the vulnerable and oppressed, and challenging systems of inequality and violence. Clip 15. Renewal of education and catechesis. Educational reform was a critical element, aimed at reinvigorating Catholic education and catechesis. The Council highlighted the importance of providing comprehensive religious education that integrates faith with everyday life, preparing believers to engage thoughtfully with the world. Clip 16. A global church. Reflecting the Church's universality, Vatican II transformed the Roman Catholic Church's vision of itself as a global community. It emphasized cultural diversity within unity, ensuring that different cultural expressions of faith were respected and celebrated. Clip 17. Revising the Code of Canon Law post-Council. Attention turned to revising the Code of Canon Law, aligning it with the Council's vision to make it more pastorally responsive. This meant changing legal structures to better serve the needs of the faithful. Clip 18. Empowerment of women. While the Council was largely male-dominated, its aftermath opened discussions on the role of women in the Church. Women began to take on more prominent roles in various ministries, paving the way for ongoing dialogue about gender equality. Clip 19. Art and architecture. The physical spaces of worship were transformed to promote active participation. Changes in church architecture reflected liturgical reforms, focusing on inclusivity, communal worship, and a welcoming environment.